everyone, it's Mrs. Hinde-Taylor reading Chapter 8 of Baby Aliens Got My Teacher. Apologies for the day delay in me reading. I'm having real issues with the internet and trying to upload videos. Anyway, so last chapter, Chapter 7, we found out that the gang had kind of formulated a plan that all of the school staff, particularly the reception staff and their teacher, had been attacked or infiltrated by aliens. Anyway, so Chapter 8, Plans, Diversions and Smelly Toes. On Friday, me and Zach left for school extra early to make a plan to find out if the office ladies were aliens too. But when we got to the den, Jodie was already there and she said she'd been up all night. And then she said, "We've got 20 minutes until the first bell, so listen up." Zach asked where Maisie was and Jodie said that her mum said that Maisie's mum was taking her to the doctor's today after all the vomit. If you remember, Maisie threw up Jodie's mum's pink milkshake. Maisie's mum said that Maisie must have an ear infection now too because she kept screaming, "My ears are burning," in the middle of the night. So we listened to Jodie's plan and looked at all the drawings and lists she had made in her bed last night when her mum went to sleep. And then Jodie said, "Any questions?" And Zach said, "What if the office ladies catch us?" And Jodie said, "That is not an option." And we agreed. When we got to class, Miss Jones was back, and so was her teddy. I hadn't noticed before, but the teddy looked a bit weird. It had a wonky smile and its eyes looked far too shiny. We still didn't know what Miss Jones was going to do with her teddy, but we knew that it was definitely some sort of time bomb. If you remember the teddy bear she suddenly appeared with, which says "You're great" and has got a rose. Jodie stared at the teddy. Her eyes were really wide and she wasn't really blinking. She looked scared, and Jodie never gets scared about anything, not even the time we crawled inside her grand's attic and found a huge snakeskin cocoon on the back, which meant there was a huge snake up there. I jumped back down, but Jodie stayed up there for ages with a mop, saying "sss, sss," to try and get the snake to come out of its hiding place. But then Jodie's gran came upstairs and said, "What on God's green earth are you doing up there?" And so I told her about the snakeskin cocoon, and she said, "Jodie, come down before you're eaten alive." And then she phoned the exterminator. Then the exterminator came in his green and red van, but after his investigation he said that it wasn't a snakeskin cocoon and that it was just one of Jodie's grand's old stockings. Anyway, Miss Jones was being all nice again today, so we waited until after the break and then we started the plan. Zach put his hand up and asked if he'd go to the toilet, and Miss Jones said yes and gave him a note. Then, 2 minutes later, Jodie rubbed white chalk on her face. That we found in the den from the old days. And I said, "Miss, look, I think Jodie's going to be sick." And Jodie said, "I must have what Maisie Miller has." And Miss Jones took one look at Jodie and said that I should take her to the nurse right away. So we left, and Jodie was all hunched over like she was going to be sick until we got into the corridor, and then we started to run. We met Zach at the stairs just before the school office. The plan was to get the office ladies out of the office and then search the office for alien evidence. We knew that aliens would probably eat alien food, not normal food like ham sandwiches or pizza, so if we found any alien food we'd know for sure that the office ladies were aliens too. So Zach said we needed to create a diversion, which meant we had to come up with an idea to get all the office ladies out of the office so we could do our search. That's when I remembered the time 6S did their cake sale in the staff room. That I remember having to wait at the office for ages until the office ladies eventually came back with all their cakes and cups of tea. So we told Zach he had to go up and knock on the glass window and say that 6S was selling cakes again in the staff room, but he said he didn't want to because that was telling a lie. So Jodie said that telling Miss Jones he needed to go to the toilet when he didn't was a lie too, and Zach said, "That's not a real lie, because Miss Jones isn't a person, she's an alien." And then he said it was okay to lie to aliens. So I said that if the office ladies were aliens, then it was okay to lie to them too. And if we found out that the office ladies weren't aliens, then Jodie would get her mum to give them a big box of cakes from the bakery to say sorry for telling the lie. So Zach said okay and walked over and knocked on the glass window and told the lady the lie about the cakes. And it worked! Loads of them came out. I never realised how many office ladies were there before. That's because you can't really see much when you're standing at the office because the glass window is a bit high and you can only really see the lady that comes to the window, and sometimes you can even see all the way right up her nose if she sticks her head out. So as soon as the office ladies were gone, we climbed through the glass window. You can see them, there's a nice little illustration there of them having a look up into the window. So as soon as the office ladies got into the office, Jodie kept saying, "This is it, no turning back." And I looked at her and nodded because this was serious. And then she told Zach to be on the lookout, but he was already looking in the filing cabinet for alien evidence. So I said I would be the lookout. So I sat on the chair at the glass window and made sure no one was coming. And that's when I saw the name on the sign-in sheet. That's the sheet at the window of the office, in the office, that the office ladies make you sign if you're even 1 second late for school. They even make you sign it if it's because you stopped to help a terrapin who had gone the wrong way and couldn't get back to the pond in the park, and you were just helping it not to die on the pavement, like the time that happened to me. And then when I got my school report and Mum saw it had 2 lates on it, she said, "What is this all about, Isabella?" So I told her about the terrapin one, but I couldn't tell her about the other one because it was Dad's fault and he said not to tell Mum. So I said that the other one was a terrapin too, and then she sent me to my room. Look, alien. Ooh, we've got 3 eyes. Ooh. So, excuse me. So anyway, I said, "Look." And Jodie said, "Shh." And Zach said, "Is it them? Is it them?" And I said no and held up the sign-in sheet. And this is what it said. Maisie Miller, Class 4J, 10:05 a.m. And then Zach said, "But we just left the classroom and she wasn't there. Why would she sign in but not come to class?" And then I had a terrible thought. And I said, "What if the office ladies have got her?" And Jodie's eyes went even wider, and Zach said we had to find her right away before they could put a baby alien in her ear. But then we heard clothes going clip-clop in the corridor, and I peeked out and saw one of the office ladies coming back. "It's too late to climb out," said Jodie. "Hide!" And then she hid behind the curtain. But me and Zach didn't know where to hide, and we couldn't fit behind the curtain too, so we both squashed under one of the desks. Oh dear. Getting a bit desperate, isn't it? We held our breaths when the office lady came in and shut the door. We were trapped. I was just about to whisper to Zach that we needed to create another diversion, but then the office lady sat down at the desk we were hiding under. We had to squash ourselves against the back as much as we could so her legs didn't touch us. Then the office lady kicked off her high heels and one of them hit Zach on the head, so I quickly covered his mouth like they do on the TV to stop him from shouting, "Ouch!" And it worked. The office lady started wriggling her toes loads, and we could hear her typing on her keyboard. I didn't know what was going to happen if we got caught. I thought maybe we'd get sent to the head teacher, but then I remembered that the head teacher was probably an alien too. So she might not send us to the head teacher. She might just zap us with her eye beams or eat us or put baby aliens in our ears like what probably happened to poor Maisie. And then Zach did a little gasp and pointed to the foot that was beside him. And I saw that the office lady had a weird, squashed pinky toe that wasn't even really a toe. It was just a stump with a tiny little nail on it that you would probably need a microscope to see properly. I wasn't sure if this was alien evidence or not, but it looked a bit weird anyway. The office lady kept wriggling her toes and Zach couldn't stop staring at them. It was starting to get really smelly under the desk and the office lady's weird pinky stump was almost touching Zach's knee. And I needed to cough, and I thought we were going to get caught, but then someone rang the bell at the reception. The office lady stopped wriggling her toes and groaned. Then she kept typing for another 2 whole minutes before she finally started trying to find her shoes. So we shoved them over beside her feet so she didn't have to look under the desk, and then she groaned again and got up. Ugh, horrible toes. We waited to hear what was happening, and then a little voice said, "Come quick! Someone's locked in the girls' toilets!" And we recognised the voice. It was Maisie. She saved us. And then the office lady said, "I can't get 1 minute to myself." And then we heard her high heels clip-clopping down the corridor. Then Maisie whispered, "Hurry, before she gets back." And then she said she'd meet us in the den. So me and Zach crawled out, and so did Jodie. And then Zach saw a door and said, "Look!" And we didn't know where the door went. We could hear some of the other office ladies coming back, so we just opened it and went through, because anywhere was better than being back under the desk with the smelly alien toe. But when we shut the door behind us, we all went really quiet because we knew exactly where we were. we were in the deputy head's office. Oh dear, I'm guessing I probably don't really want to end up there. Anyway, so that's the end of chapter 8. We'll be picking up and reading chapter 9, We Should Not Be In Here, next time. Stay safe.